Popeyes serves over 1.5 million customers every single day worldwide. That's a lot of crispy chicken. Ever wonder how that perfect crispy chicken gets made in the factory? Stick around as we take a behind-the-scenes look at the journey of Popeyes chicken and the secrets behind its signature flavor. Popeyes, the fast food giant known for its crispy, flavorful chicken, has a history as spicy as its signature Cajun fries. The story of Popeyes begins in the mid-1970s, but its origins trace back to a man named Al Copeland, a New Orleans native with big dreams and a passion for food. In 1972, Copeland opened a small fried chicken restaurant called Chicken on the Run in Araby, Louisiana. It was, well, not much of a hit. In fact, customers didn't exactly flock to it. Perhaps the chicken was too bland, or maybe the name just didn't have the right ring to it. Copeland wasn't about to give up, though. After a few years of trial and error, he rebranded the joint in 1976 to Popeyes Chicken and Biscuits, inspired by the character Popeye Doyle from the film The French Connection. Why Popeye? Well, Copeland liked the idea of a name that sounded tough. And what's tougher than a gritty, fast-talking cop from a gritty movie? But Popeye's success didn't come from the name alone. It came from the chicken. Copeland was determined to offer something different from the typical fried chicken you could find everywhere else. Instead of the usual southern breading, he introduced a unique blend of spices with a Cajun flair. His chicken wasn't just fried, it was a flavor-packed experience that had people saying, "I'll have another biscuit, please," whether they meant to or not. By the 1980s, Popeyes had expanded rapidly, opening stores across the country. They didn't just serve chicken. They served a Louisiana-inspired feast with sides like red beans and rice, mashed potatoes, and those now famous biscuits, so flaky they practically melt in your mouth. The company wasn't always smooth sailing, though. In 1989, Copeland sold the company to a group of investors, and it went through some rocky patches. But Popeyes wasn't about to chicken out. It kept churning out its spicy, crunchy goodness while sticking to its roots. In the 2000s, Popeyes took a giant leap forward under the guidance of savvy marketing and new flavors, especially with its chicken sandwich, which created a nationwide frenzy in 2019. People queued up in drive-thrus as if their lives depended on it, and the social media buzz was palpable, making fast food feel like an event rather than just a meal. Who knew a sandwich could bring the masses together in the name of fried chicken? These days, Popeyes stands tall, serving some of the most loved fried chicken on the planet. Whether you're a fan of the spicy or mild, the crispy or the crunchy, Popeyes has earned its place in the fast food Hall of Fame, fitting right alongside its southern cousins, like KFC, but with a spicy Cajun twist that makes you feel like you're eating at Mardi Gras, even when you're just in your car. But how is this chicken made? Let's take a look behind the scenes where the magic and a little bit of crunch happens, from the factory to your Popeyes bag. The journey of Popeyes chicken begins at the farm. Popeyes sources its chicken primarily from three major poultry suppliers in the U.S. Tyson Foods, Pilgrim's Pride, and Sanderson Farms. These suppliers are some of the largest poultry producers in the world and maintain large-scale operations that meet Popeyes standards for quality, sustainability, and ethical treatment of animals. The chickens are typically raised in climate-controlled barns with plenty of space to move around. These birds are raised specifically for meat production, so they are selected for their fast growth rates and meat yield. By the time they reach the processing age, about 5 to 7 weeks, they've grown to the right size to be processed into delicious chicken pieces. During this time, the chickens are monitored for overall health. They receive regular veterinary care and are vaccinated to ensure they're free from diseases that could impact both their health and the quality of the meat. According to industry standards, the chickens raised for Popeyes are required to meet the same strict food safety protocols that apply to all commercial poultry production in the US. Once the chickens reach the proper weight and are ready for processing, they are transported to the processing plant in climate-controlled trucks. This transportation process is crucial as it helps prevent stress or injury to the birds before they are processed, ensuring the highest possible quality of meat. At the processing plant, the chickens go through a series of steps to transform from live birds into the various cuts of chicken used by Popeyes. The plant follows strict hygiene protocols, as chicken is highly perishable, and maintaining sanitary conditions is crucial. Upon arrival at the processing plant, the chickens are humanely slaughtered. Modern facilities use methods like controlled atmosphere stunning, CAS, to ensure the chickens are unconscious before slaughter, minimizing stress and maintaining meat quality. This step is crucial, as any undue stress can impact the tenderness and flavor of the chicken. Once the chickens are slaughtered, they are mechanically plucked to remove their feathers. This is done by submerging the birds in hot water to loosen the feathers, which are then removed using mechanical pluckers. Following this, the chickens are eviscerated, meaning their internal organs are carefully removed to avoid contamination. The chickens are then separated into cuts like breasts, wings, thighs, and drumsticks. These cuts are then inspected for quality and safety to ensure they meet Popeyes' high standards. If necessary, the meat is also deboned, depending on the cut and the final product, like chicken tenders. After being inspected and portioned, the meat is chilled rapidly to prevent bacterial growth and maintain freshness. After chilling, the cuts of chicken are ready for marination, which is the next key step in ensuring Popeyes' signature flavor. Marination is a critical step in Popeyes' chicken-making process, where the distinctive flavor of Popeyes' chicken starts to take shape. The chicken is immersed in a proprietary brine solution, which includes a mixture of spices and ingredients like garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, cayenne pepper, and more. This brine not only infuses the chicken with flavor, but also helps tenderize it, ensuring every bite is juicy and flavorful. The brining process typically takes several hours, sometimes overnight, depending on the size and type of chicken. This is where the magic of Popeyes' flavor happens. The chicken absorbs the spices from the brine, ensuring each bite is seasoned from the inside out. The brine often contains buttermilk, which helps break down the muscle fibers in the chicken, making it more tender while locking in moisture. The marination process is a key factor in the difference between Popeyes and other fried chicken brands. While other chains might use a simpler salt and water brine, Popeyes' complex blend of spices creates that distinct Cajun-inspired flavor. After the chicken has marinated, it's time for the breading. Popeyes uses a two-step breading process to get that perfect crispy texture. First, each piece of chicken is carefully dredged in a mixture of flour and a secret blend of spices. This breading process is done in a highly controlled environment, where each piece of chicken is evenly coated to ensure consistent flavor and texture. The breading isn't just for flavor, it's crucial for creating the crispy, golden texture Popeyes is known for. After the initial flour coating, the chicken is dipped into a second layer of seasoned flour, which helps create a thicker, crunchier coating. The breading adheres better during frying, allowing the chicken to remain crunchy even after it's been held under heat lamps in the restaurant. This two-step breading process also helps lock in the moisture from the brine, ensuring that the chicken remains juicy even after deep frying. Now comes the moment of truth: frying. Popeyes uses large industrial fryers to cook the chicken. The fryers are designed to ensure that the chicken is cooked quickly and evenly at an optimal temperature of 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius. The chicken is fried in batches to avoid overcrowding, which could cause uneven cooking or soggy breading. The oil used is a high-quality vegetable oil that creates a crisp, light texture while keeping the chicken moist on the inside. Frying usually takes about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on the size of the pieces. This step is a balance of science and art. The chicken must be fried long enough to crisp up the breading, but not so long that the interior dries out. The result is that perfect golden brown exterior with a juicy, tender interior. After the chicken has been fried to perfection, it's carefully removed from the fryer and placed on racks to drain excess oil. Once fried, the chicken is moved to a holding area, where it's kept under heat lamps to ensure it stays at the perfect temperature until it's ready to be served. Popeyes uses a precise system of timed holding bins, where the chicken is placed based on when it was cooked. This helps ensure that the chicken doesn't sit around too long, keeping it fresh and crunchy. The chicken is rotated regularly to maintain its texture and prevent it from drying out. Popeyes also employs a first in, first out FIFO system, ensuring that older batches of chicken are used first and not left to sit for extended periods. This careful attention to detail ensures the highest quality chicken is always served to customers. The final step is when the chicken reaches the customer. Whether it's through the drive-thru or at the counter, the freshly fried chicken is placed in a box or bag, ready for the customer to enjoy. Typically, the chicken is served with sides like mashed potatoes, red beans and rice, and a buttery biscuit. Popeyes ensures that all its chicken is served fresh, hot, and crispy. From the moment the chicken is harvested to the moment it's served, every step of the process is meticulously executed to maintain the highest standards of flavor, quality, and freshness. Popeyes has earned its place as a fried chicken favorite, and there's a reason people keep coming back. What sets Popeyes apart is its bold Cajun-inspired flavor that goes beyond just heat. The signature blend of spices, garlic, cayenne, paprika, and more, creates a rich, deep taste that makes each bite a flavorful experience. Unlike many other fast food chicken chains that focus on just spiciness, Popeyes nails the balance, giving its chicken a savory kick that keeps you wanting more. The real magic, though, is in the texture. Popeyes uses a two-step breading process that gives its chicken that perfect crunch. The seasoned flour stays intact through frying, creating a crispy, golden crust that contrasts beautifully with the juicy, tender chicken inside. That crunch is one of the main reasons Popeyes stands out in the crowded fried chicken market. Rooted in Louisiana, Popeyes brings the rich traditions of Southern cooking to fast food. It's not just the chicken that's a star. The sides like buttery biscuits, creamy mashed potatoes, and red beans and rice round out the meal, making it feel like a true Southern comfort feast. These sides aren't just fillers, they're key to the whole Popeyes experience. And then there's the Popeyes chicken sandwich. When it launched in 2019, it became an instant hit, igniting a nationwide frenzy. The combination of crispy chicken, creamy mayo, pickles, and a soft brioche bun was a game changer, and the sandwich quickly became a defining item in the chicken sandwich wars. What makes Popeyes even more impressive is its consistency. No matter where you go, whether it's in New Orleans or New York, you can count on that same delicious, perfectly fried chicken every time. From the marination to the frying, every step is executed with care, ensuring high-quality, flavorful chicken each time you order. In the end, Popeyes isn't just about serving fried chicken, it's about serving an experience. With its bold spices, crispy texture, and Southern comfort, Popeyes has mastered the art of creating a meal that people crave over and over again. So, what's your favorite thing about Popeyes? Its bold flavor, that perfect crunch, or maybe the iconic chicken sandwich? Let us know in the comments below. KFC's secret recipe is so protected that it's locked in a vault. How did this guarded blend help Colonel Sanders turn his fried chicken into a global sensation? Let's dive into the story behind KFC's rise to fame. The story of KFC is closely tied to the life of its founder, Colonel Harland Sanders, a man whose journey from humble beginnings to global fame is as remarkable as the chicken he made famous. Yes, Colonel Sanders was very real. His determination and secret recipe turned KFC into a worldwide success. Born in 1890 in Henryville, Indiana, Sanders had a hard childhood and left school early to help support his family. He tried many jobs, like farming, law, and selling insurance, but faced many failures. By his 40s, none of these efforts had brought him success. In 1930, Sanders opened a gas station in Corbin, Kentucky, where he began serving fried chicken to travelers. He used his own kitchen tools to serve the chicken in the station's dining area because there wasn't a proper restaurant setup. His chicken became so popular that by 1936, he was given the title of Kentucky Colonel for his contributions to local cooking. But in 1956, a new highway took traffic away from his restaurant, and he had to sell the business at a loss. At 65 years old, with just a Social Security check and his secret chicken recipe, Sanders set out to expand his business. He drove across the country, sharing his recipe with restaurant owners, often cooking on site to show its quality. His hard work paid off, and in 1952, the first KFC franchise opened in Salt Lake City, leading to hundreds of franchises across the US by the early 1960s. The Colonel's hard work led to the creation of the secret mix of 11 herbs and spices, which is now one of the world's most closely guarded cooking secrets. The blend is so secret that only a few KFC leaders know the full recipe, and it is kept in a vault with a motion detection security system. This recipe has been crucial to KFC's success, keeping the flavor the same across its 24,000 locations in 145 countries for over 50 years. Even after selling KFC in 1964 for $2 million, Colonel Sanders remained the brand's famous face, continuing as its spokesperson and appearing in commercials until he died in 1980. His image was key to KFC's identity, keeping his connection with the brand strong. KFC gets its chicken from a worldwide network of farms and suppliers that are chosen carefully based on their ability to meet strict standards for animal care, food safety, and environmental responsibility. These suppliers are located in various regions, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and other key markets. Did you know that KFC is the second largest buyer of chicken in the world, only behind McDonald's? The company is committed to making sure the chickens are raised in environments that focus on their well-being, giving them plenty of space, access to clean water, and a healthy diet without added hormones or steroids. KFC works closely with its suppliers to make sure chickens are raised with good care and humane treatment. The company aims to have 100% cage-free chickens worldwide by 2026, and as of 2024, about 25% of chickens in the US, UK, and Canada are cage-free. The farms that supply KFC must provide better environments for the chickens, like access to natural light, perches, and things to peck at, which help reduce stress and allow natural behaviors. Once the chickens are fully grown, they are taken to special processing plants, where they go through several inspections to make sure they meet KFC's quality standards. KFC's process includes more than 50 checks from farm to restaurant. These plants are regularly checked by KFC and outside groups to make sure they follow food safety and animal welfare rules. When the chickens arrive at the processing plants, they go through detailed inspections by trained professionals who check for any signs of illness or defects. The chickens that pass these checks are then thoroughly cleaned. Cleaning is important to remove any contaminants and prepare the chicken for the next steps. The plants follow strict hygiene rules during this process, making sure all equipment and surfaces are sanitized to prevent cross-contamination. After the chickens are cleaned, they are cut into specific parts like breasts, thighs, wings, and drumsticks. This cutting is done with advanced equipment that ensures each piece meets KFC's exact size and weight standards. Consistency is important to make sure customers get the same quality and portion size no matter where they buy their KFC meal. Once the chicken is cut, it is chilled to keep it fresh. KFC often highlights that in many places, the chicken is never frozen, which helps keep its natural texture and flavor. Chilling also stops bacterial growth, keeping the meat safe during transportation. The chilled chicken is then packed and sent to KFC restaurants. This process is carefully managed to make sure the chicken stays at the right temperature until it arrives at its final destination. Throughout the processing phase, regular checks are done by both KFC and outside organizations. These checks cover different parts of the process, including animal care, food safety, and meeting local and international rules. KFC's processing plants use modern technology to monitor and control the quality of the chicken at every stage, from the first inspection to the final packaging. The processing of KFC chicken is a tightly controlled process that includes detailed inspections, careful cutting, and precise chilling to keep the chicken safe and high quality. Regular checks and strict standards make sure KFC's chicken meets customer expectations worldwide. When the chicken arrives at a KFC restaurant, it goes through a careful final preparation process that ensures the famous taste and texture KFC is known for. Here's a closer look at how the chicken is turned from raw cuts into the crispy, flavorful pieces served to customers. Once the chicken arrives at the restaurant, the kitchen staff first inspects it to make sure it meets KFC's quality standards. This step is important to keep the food consistent across all locations. The chicken is then stored in a refrigerated area to keep it fresh until it's ready to be cooked. The breading process is where the magic starts. The chicken is coated in a special flour mixture that includes KFC's famous blend of 11 herbs and spices. Fun fact, Colonel Sanders' original handwritten recipe is still kept in a safe at KFC's headquarters in Louisville, Kentucky, split into 2 parts stored separately to keep it secret. During the breading process, the chicken is dipped into cold water and then into seasoned flour. The cold water helps the flour stick better to the chicken, ensuring an even coating. The chicken is then hand-breaded using a method called the 7-fold technique, where it is lifted and folded in the flour 7 times to make sure every piece is fully coated. After the breading, the chicken is cooked using a method called pressure frying. This technique was created by Colonel Sanders in the 1940s and is key to getting KFC's crispy outside while keeping the meat inside juicy and tender. Unlike regular frying, pressure frying uses high pressure to cook the chicken faster and at a lower oil temperature, which helps keep in moisture and flavor. Pressure frying allows KFC chicken to cook in about 15 minutes, compared to nearly 30 minutes with traditional frying methods. In this process, the breaded chicken is placed in a pressure fryer, where it is cooked under high pressure. This method not only speeds up cooking, but also ensures the chicken is cooked evenly, with the juices sealed inside. The result is chicken that is crispy on the outside and moist and flavorful on the inside. Throughout the cooking process, KFC chefs keep a close watch to ensure the chicken is cooked perfectly. They carefully monitor the cooking time and temperature because any changes can affect the texture and flavor. After frying, the chicken is quickly drained of excess oil before being served or placed in the iconic KFC bucket. Once cooked, the chicken is kept warm under heat lamps until it is served. KFC ensures the chicken is served as fresh as possible, usually within a short time after cooking, to keep its crispy texture and juicy inside. This final step is key to delivering the finger-licking good experience that KFC promises. The mix of the secret spice blend, precise breading technique, and special pressure frying method is what makes KFC chicken loved worldwide, ensuring each bite is always delicious. KFC is dedicated to reducing its environmental impact and ensuring ethical sourcing in all its operations. The company focuses on saving water, managing waste, and lowering carbon emissions by improving water use, recycling, and using energy-efficient technologies. KFC's parent company, Yum Brands, has promised to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 46% by 2030 across its entire supply chain. KFC is also working to reduce antibiotic use in its chicken supply. To keep high standards, KFC regularly checks its suppliers and stays transparent, pushing for greater responsibility across its global supply chain, even with regional challenges. These efforts show KFC's commitment to responsible sourcing and meeting consumer expectations for sustainability. What do you think makes KFC's chicken so tasty? Let us know in the comments. Americans devour over 2.3 billion chicken McNuggets each year. That's enough to circle the earth 100 times. But what's behind our obsession with these crispy little bites? From their golden crunch to the endless dipping sauces, there's something about McNuggets that keeps us coming back. So, what makes them so irresistible? In the culinary landscape, few items can claim to be as iconic as the McDonald's Chicken McNugget. Though it seems as timeless as the chain's golden arches, the McNugget has a clear and surprisingly recent origin story. Cooked up in the 1980s by a team of culinary scientists with one mission: to put bite-sized chicken on the fast food map. The McNugget journey began in the test kitchens of McDonald's during a time when red meat ruled supreme. Chicken wasn't yet seen as a fast food staple, but consumers' tastes were changing, nudged by health concerns about beef. McDonald's knew it needed something groundbreaking to keep its menu fresh and appealing, and that's where René Arend came in. Hired as the chain's first executive chef, Arend was a trained chef from Luxembourg with experience in classical French cuisine. Yes, you read that right. A chef skilled in haute cuisine laid the groundwork for the humble Chicken McNugget. In a place where the fanciest ingredient was the sesame seed, Arend was tasked with turning chicken scraps into gold. Creating a deep-fried chicken nugget sounds straightforward, but back then, it was uncharted territory for a fast food behemoth like McDonald's. Arend faced multiple hurdles. Not only did he have to figure out how to turn chicken into uniform, consistently tasty bites, but he also had to make them efficient for mass production. With a little food engineering, Arend whipped up a batter that would stand up to flash frying and freezing while still delivering that crave-worthy crunch. And the shapes? Not just random. The McNugget debuted with 4 distinct shapes: bell, boot, ball, and bone, that were carefully designed to keep things fun and kid-friendly in every Happy Meal box. By the time McNuggets debuted in select stores in 1981, McDonald's was all in on marketing these golden bites. By 1983, McNuggets hit nationwide, and they became a sensation, nearly eclipsing the Big Mac in popularity. Part of the allure was that they were marketed as a healthier alternative to beef burgers at the time. But beyond that, there was something inherently fun about dipping bite-sized chicken into tangy sauces. And those sauces, they were game changers: sweet and sour, hot mustard, barbecue, and even the elusive, cult favorite Szechuan sauce, which sent fans into a frenzy in the 90s and again in 2017, thanks to a shout-out from Rick and Morty. Think McNuggets are just a side menu option? Try this on for size. Americans consume an estimated 2.3 billion McNuggets annually. That's enough to circle the globe over 100 times. And to keep up with demand, McDonald's sources an astronomical amount of chicken each year, carefully following guidelines for quality and consistency. The McNugget has even left its mark in pop culture, from YouTube challenges to McNugget-shaped pillows. The frenzy around these nuggets reached a fever pitch in 2020, when a single, uniquely shaped McNugget from a BTS meal auctioned for nearly $100,000 on eBay. Why? It looked like a character from the Among Us video game. Alright, let's roll up our sleeves and get right into the factory floor, where McDonald's Chicken McNuggets come to life. This is no ordinary assembly line. Think of it as a labyrinth of stainless steel, massive mixers, and fryers big enough to make even the most ambitious home chef jealous. Ready for some behind-the-scenes secrets? Here's how every McNugget goes from chicken to crispy, bite-sized gold. First things first, McDonald's doesn't just grab any old chicken, they're picky. The chain sources their chickens from farms that meet strict quality standards, think free of any antibiotics used for growth, and raised on a diet that keeps the meat tender and uniform. The nuggets are mostly made of white breast meat, known for its mild flavor and versatility. It's all about consistency, so each nugget tastes the same in New York, Tokyo, or anywhere in between. Once the chicken gets to the factory, it goes through a machine known as the industrial grinder. This baby could pulverize a whole bird in seconds, but don't worry, only specific parts are used. The grinder chops the meat down to a fine, smooth consistency. Then it's onto the mega mixer, where things get flavorful. In this giant tumbler, seasonings and spices are added to the meat mixture. We're talking salt, pepper, a touch of sugar, and a blend of other top-secret spices designed to keep your taste buds guessing. The spices aren't just thrown in willy-nilly either. The mega mixer is programmed to blend everything at precise speeds and times, so every single nugget gets the same flavor boost. Too little mixing? You've got clumps. Too much? You end up with mush. It's like a Goldilocks situation in there. Next, the chicken paste heads to the molding machine, where it's shaped into the McNuggets' 4 famous shapes: bell, boot, ball, and bone. Yes, those nugget shapes aren't an accident. They're deliberately crafted to keep things fun and friendly, especially for kids, and to cook evenly. Inside the molding machine, which we'll call the Nugget Shaper 3000, the chicken is pressed into molds that ensure uniform size, thickness, and weight. High-speed cameras then scan each nugget, instantly discarding any irregular shapes to ensure your boot-shaped nugget actually looks like a boot. Now, we're on to the secret to that crispy exterior. The nuggets take a bath in a light tempura-style batter. Known as a pre-dip, this initial batter gives the chicken that melt-in-your-mouth feel while creating a sticky layer for the breadcrumbs. After the pre-dip, they move down the conveyor to the breading machine, a contraption that coats each nugget in a proprietary seasoned breadcrumb mix. Imagine a high-tech bread roller, specifically engineered to make every nugget taste just right. The double coating of batter and breading ensures the nugget is both crunchy and golden brown when it hits the fryer. And here's a fun nugget of knowledge. The breading mixture is scientifically designed to stick just the right amount. Too much, and it would turn soggy. Too little, and you'd miss that signature crunch. This is fast food engineering at its finest, folks. Then, it's into the flash fryer, a massive vat of oil that partially cooks each nugget to form that iconic crust. This flash fry takes only a few seconds, but it's enough to set the breading while sealing in the juices, giving each nugget that ideal texture. The machine, affectionately known as Big Fry, is programmed to hit each piece with just the right amount of heat, prepping it for freezing without fully cooking it. Without this flash fry, the nuggets wouldn't be able to stay crispy when they're reheated at the restaurant. It's a process so precise. Even the slightest variation in temperature or fry time could throw everything off. Now partially cooked and ready for the cold, the nuggets are moved into a blast freezer. Imagine a room-sized freezer that can drop temperatures faster than you can say Happy Meal. This rapid freezing process, known in the biz as cryogenic freezing, stops all cooking and locks in freshness. This means that when your nuggets are reheated in the fryer, they taste just as fresh as the day they were made. If you're picturing a simple walk-in freezer, think again. These blast freezers drop temp so fast that it would be like stepping from a sunny beach straight into the Arctic. With the nuggets frozen solid, they move on to packaging. The nuggets are portioned into bags or boxes, but not before a final quality check. Automated scanners with laser precision check each nugget's weight, shape, and color. If anything's off, even by a gram or a millimeter, it's tossed out. After passing this final check, the nuggets are sealed in their packaging and loaded onto temperature-controlled trucks, ready for their journey to McDonald's restaurants nationwide. Once the nuggets make it to your local McDonald's, they're stored in freezers until an order is placed. Then comes the final fry. At each restaurant, the nuggets go into fryers set to a precise temperature and time, giving them the final touch that makes them golden, crispy, and irresistible. It's all part of McDonald's commitment to consistency, ensuring your nugget in New York tastes just like the one in Sydney. Alright, so you've seen the magic that happens in the factory, but let's be real. Half the charm of a McNugget comes from that final sizzling step in the restaurant kitchen. Here's how it all goes down. When a chicken McNugget order comes in, frozen nuggets go straight from the freezer to the fryer without any thawing. The oil McDonald's uses is a blend of canola, soybean, and corn oils, specifically chosen for its high smoke point and neutral flavor, which ensures the nuggets get that perfectly golden, crispy finish without any overpowering oil taste. The fryers are set to precise temperatures, around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, to create that ideal outer crunch while keeping the inside juicy. Timing is everything here. The nuggets fry for just a few minutes to lock in moisture without overcooking. Once they're out, a quick shake removes excess oil, and they're placed in a temperature-controlled warming tray that keeps them hot and crisp, ready to be boxed up and served with your choice of sauce. In less time than it takes to read the menu, your nuggets go from icy to piping hot, all thanks to an engineered blend of oil, precise heat, and well-timed frying. It's a fast food science that guarantees every McNugget comes out just right every time. McDonald's Chicken McNuggets have had an undeniable impact, not just as a popular menu item, but as a cultural icon. They transformed fast food by offering something fun, shareable, and irresistibly snackable, appealing to kids and adults alike. Their success sparked a wave of copycat nuggets across the fast food industry, setting a high bar for consistency and flavor. From their introduction in the 80s to their status today, McNuggets have proven that sometimes the simplest ideas, small, crispy, tender bites, can leave the biggest mark. More than just food, they represent the comfort and nostalgia of grabbing a quick, satisfying meal that's reliably good every time. It's not just the batter or the sauce that keeps people hooked. There's real science at play. McDonald's perfected the balance of salty, savory, and slightly sweet flavors, along with a crunchy exterior that practically begs you to take one more bite. Their shape and ease of consumption make them an ideal crave food. And once you're hooked, well, they've got you for life. So, what's your go-to sauce with McNuggets? Are you a sweet and sour fan, or is barbecue more your vibe? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed diving into the world of fast food favorites, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tasty insights.